Mickey, no, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Don't call me Mickey. You only call me that when you're mad at me. Are you mad at me?
What do you want me to know?
That I owe you an apology.
Why?
Because the impulse to go 3, 2, 1 when you press the buttons is so real.
You do owe me an apology.
I do. You are right.
It just makes sense.
It does. It does.
It just makes sense.
It does.
I don't know how much talking I'm going to be doing this one. Are you turning it on?
Not yet.
Okay, before you do the first one. Okay, I love roller coasters. Okay, so I really love roller coasters. I used to be really afraid of them as a kid. But then I was like, you just got to do it. You just got to ride them.
Yeah.
You just got to ride them. And then now I love them. I love them so much.
That's true. Maybe you'll love this.
Like, so I'm like, just don't.
It's not even
Okay,
on.
can you explain to the class what we're doing today?
Yes.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Hello, hi, welcome. So we have been meaning to make an episode like this for a while.
We were going to do it on Vaguely Therapeutic.
Yes, but I think this is such a perfect dovetail for these two things because we were talking today about male birth control, especially the IUD, I think it's called Atom, that has like recently been getting a lot of buzz. We've gotten some questions about it, and there's a lot of interesting discussion, I think, to be had about misogyny and like how we prioritize, especially like cis men's
Healthcare.
experience.
Yeah.
So we're talking about that today, but we're also going to use a TENS unit. If you don't know, a TENS unit is like a little, people use them for like muscle relief and stuff because it like stimulates your muscles.
Yeah.
But people also commonly use them to simulate period pains. So
I want you to be at no point. I am not I don't know why I'm afraid. I'm like, do I need to have jewelry on? Like, am I going to get electrocuted?
No.
I've used the TENS unit before.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not really a big fan of it in the first place. It doesn't
Fair.
really do, when I need help, normally dry needling and
Yeah.
lots of stretching.
Yeah. You're
It's normally
more
my go-to.
a manual therapy kind of guy.
I am not one. I fully am here for the team, for the period pains and cramps, and I constantly am
You don't have to defend yourself.
blown away
We
by
all know that you're a girl's girl.
the amount of pain. But I'm just saying, I'm not here to say that like I'm gonna take this. It's not gonna be a problem at all.
No.
We
all know
I
that.
also wonder to what degree too, because you've essentially been practicing with this your whole life.
Yes.
So like, I think there's some. I think just women inherently, or like femme presenting people.
Yeah, non-men.
Yeah, are just like built differently.
Yeah.
And
especially
so
uterus havers.
I am, by all means accounts, I am a sensitive
Yes.
ass bitch.
Yeah.
And I am ready
Yes.
in solidarity.
So yeah, basically that's what we're doing. Full disclosure, I am in fact on my period currently, and I have pretty bad.
I am not on my period currently.
I have pretty bad period cramps. Which, to be clear, by the way, neither of us, I guess, have ever experienced like severe period cramping. There are people with like endometriosis
yeah.
and PCOS and like other like uterine complications that experience profound amounts of pain on a regular fucking basis.
I just can't, like, how
very lucky in the sense that like I do get period cramps, but they're all things told pretty mild.
I would regularly be taking a week off.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you right now. Like if it
Yeah.
was happening to me, I would be at work maybe a couple days a week. Yeah. Like no doubt. In my mind.
But I'm curious because we're both hooked up to the TENS unit. We both have little sensors, like roughly where, I mean, for me, it's actually where my period pain is, like, you know, on your abdomen.
Yeah.
And yours is like where
Mine's
I can
very
only
close to
approximate
my-
where your uterus would be if you had
Yeah.
one.
It's very close to other
So
sensitive things,
we're
that's
both,
for sure.
We're both hooked up to the TENS unit. It's not on, but I'm going to turn it on and like try to like gauge what you're feeling based on what I'm feeling. So that I can try to give you like an equivalent amount of
I'm
pain.
stressed.
I think it's
already.
gonna be
It's gonna be
okay.
fine. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You do this all the time.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah, you can do this.
I can do this.
Are you ready for me to turn it on?
Let's get a good start. Yeah, let's do a.
Okay.
I've never had the TENS unit here.
So let's see if I remember how to work this, first of all.
Also, I know we talked on the last episode about my sensory stuff, and so I'm like,
What, are you overwhelmed?
I'm so curious. I think once I get the first one out of the way, because right now I'm like, because clearly I've gotten plenty of tattoos and stuff before.
Yeah.
And it's always that first bite that's the
that's the
worst.
worst.
And then after that, I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. This is fantastic. I could fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I need my Nido. That's what I need for sure. Oh, thanks.
Do you feel anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Woo. Oh, okay. Okay, not so bad. That's not so bad. That's just like a
Yeah,
little.
that's at like a 4.
That's at a 4?
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
Okay. I'm
It
gonna
definitely
change
took my little breath away.
mine now. Took my little breath away, he said.
What are you at?
Nothing.
Oh. Is mine still on?
Oh, no, yours is not.
Oh. Okay. You don't have to. Oh, there it is.
How's that?
Good. I'm doing good right now, actually. I'm afraid to sit normally or like really high. I should be sitting. But what's mine
How's
at?
that? Yours is the same.
Oh, nothing. I don't really feel anything right now, honestly.
Okay.
I'm like, is it on or is it off? Or
I feel so nice on my period cramps.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel a little bit.
Okay.
It's really just the right one. Yeah, just really the right one is.
Okay.
I don't know if these are not working very good. Oh no, I definitely feel them both now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna turn yours up one more.
Okay. Yeah, they're both working. They're both working. They're both.
Okay, good. I'm glad that they're working.
They're both working.
Good.
I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, to be clear, this is not
it's not
quite
bad.
the same because there's like a little bit more of a sharp pain on the front end, and it's not quite as like achy as period cramps.
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
What's this at? What are we at?
A 5.
That's only one up more.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Okay.
So
we'll do another one later in the video.
Yeah.
You want to talk
you
about
gotta deep breathe, my love. You gotta deep breathe.
That is the way I do get through things. I just hold my breath.
If you react, then everybody goes, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And it's really annoying.
I'm glad I charged it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's start with your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10.
I think pain is okay. So pain, realistically, it's just in a weird spot of my body that I'm not really used to like having any sensation. Pain level isn't that high. I think it's more so just like shock. Yeah. And like getting over the initial. Also, I've been drinking caffeine, so I'm like.
Yeah, you're all overwhelmed.
1 through 10, right? The scale.
Yeah.
I get 3 or 4. I could function.
Okay.
I could function. I'm ready. I'm gonna.
I could function. He says, can't move in his seat.
Okay. No, we're good. I'm catching my breath. We're good.
Yeah.
It's like into
You're
a
doing
lull.
great.
I'm falling into a lull about it. So I'd say like a 3 or a 4 right now. Like I'm not debilitated. But if it was like more inside my body.
Yeah.
2.
I think I'm going to change the setting.
Okay.
So that it like ebbs and flows.
Okay.
So it's not like constant. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, because I think once it's constant, then I kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Would you say that's more accurate to how it comes and goes?
Yeah.
For you?
Because it very much like ebbs and flows.
Yeah, I'd say let's match it. Let's accurate. Let's.
How is that? Do you feel anything?
Not yet, but I'm sure it'll come in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
You feel something?
Yeah.
Are you fucking around?
No. What is that? What is that?
It's a kneading. That's the knead sensation.
That's
a 4.
That's a 5 for me.
Okay.
Okay, that would take me. That would cause me to. What are you doing, dude?
It just like I think it feels nice.
It feels so good.
That is more accurate to what period pain feels like because it will like peak and then go back down. I obviously have never birthed a child, but from my understanding, this is like 1/100th of the pain of a contraction, where like it reaches this peak and then it goes back down. Are you gonna make it, my man?
Yes, I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
You do this all the time.
We're at the same.
What did you say about business? You're gay. How bad could it be?
Yeah, exactly.
How bad could it be?
Gay audacity. That like how hard could it be? I'm gay.
Okay, let's talk.
But also my favorite new motto is how hard could it be? Boys do it.
And that's really the truth.
How hard could it be? Boys do it.
It's really the truth of things. Also, though, but every time we've ever been like, should we do this or something?
Yeah.
And we just always remind ourselves that there's some mediocre white man doing the same thing. I'm like,
and doing it more poorly than we would.
Definitely could fucking do it. Also, the thing, because like we often have a hard time describing why we like Tucson so much more than Phoenix.
Yeah.
And the thing that there is no way like you could get on stage and do, or like you would have to go to work and you would have to be a therapist while you have your period.
I've been in much worse pain than this at work.
Really fucked up.
Like especially when I had an IUD that was placed poorly, I would be in session with clients and have pain that took my breath away. Like the edges of my vision would go white. It hurt so bad. And like you just power through it.
And I'm just not used to it. Like it's okay, so like it's not hurting in the sense that like I feel like I'm in danger, but it's just like causing my body to kind of like I just feel like I'm on edge.
Well, and also that's why like a lot of times when I'm on my period, I'll sleep like balled up, like a little fetus, because it alleviates some of the pain being in the fetal position for real.
How long does this last? Are we just like, is it just, we're just riding it?
Hours. Yeah. Remember
The
when
pain will last hours. It doesn't subside. Like it doesn't come and then go away for a long time.
Not really, no. Like I'll spend most of the time being in pain.
I'm gonna genuinely
And
use some
again,
water.
as a disclaimer, my period pain is like pretty mild in comparison to what a lot of people experience. This is like not even, I would
I
say
know.
this is not what my period pain even feels like yet. Like this is still pretty sub.
I would like to go as far as we can go.
Okay.
Not yet. Let's.
Do you want me to warn you, or do you want me to just like sort of randomly increase the frequency? Because I feel like that's more accurate.
In the true fairness of the experiment,
Yeah.
let's do random.
Okay. Also, I do want to be clear. Aaron suggested this. I didn't torture this
It's
man
so
into
true.
this.
I've said I wanted to do this for a while.
We both agreed to and consented to participate in
Yeah,
this.
I want to be here.
This is not me
I'm
trying
just-
to torture you.
Yeah, and also too, I'm sure this is still not even fucking close because also
Yeah,
this
no.
is none of the mess. Or
I can't. Can we talk about how life altering the pain probably is for childbirth?
I don't even.
I
want to
can't
know.
even imagine.
I would also too like
Truly.
genuinely for me like that was one of the reasons too I didn't want us to have kids
Mm-hmm.
to some degree too because I was like I don't really feel that strongly about having them.
Yeah.
And I was like I could never subject you
Yeah.
to that
The
pain.
inequity of it all is
And
really hard.
Yeah, which is why it's so fucked up and crazy to me when men are like I don't know I like breeding
Yeah. Kinks.
things,
Yeah.
like it just because it just.
You just don't resonate
It
with
feels, you know, there's stuff that I would like to say, but I won't say because it's gonna go on the internet. But I think just like it's just like I think patriarchy and misogyny and stuff. I think those are like because you don't really identify your partner as like 'cause I just can't imagine wanting because like to be a parent or like especially like
Yeah.
a femme person who wants to give birth.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you have to be like you have to want that. Like you would have to want that to like go through
Yes.
all like the woman with the list, the lady with the list.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
the woman
every
with the list
time-
on TikTok
Every time and it's like and you do this.
of all the potential negative side effects of parenting.
All
I
the
know.
things,
That
yeah.
one was pretty bad. Yeah. I don't know what that was about.
Why did it just do that all of a sudden?
I don't know. I didn't do
Did
that.
you press a button?
No, I really didn't.
But yeah, I just feel like you would have to.
I didn't do anything.
I
yet.
feel like you would have to. I heard you press the button.
I just switched it to be on yours so that I'm controlling yours instead of mine. I think what you're trying to say
I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore.
is that you don't really resonate with the idea of caring about having a child so much that you're willing to put your partner through pain.
Oh yeah, because
That's just not, which also I agree with.
a very real conversation we had, and I think this is a fair conversation to have.
Yeah.
Is that I don't know if I could. Are you doing anything?
No, are you fucking around? Are you memeing?
No.
Be serious.
It's like in a different spot now. No, I
fairly
don't
accurate.
think I could raise. It feels different.
It's not doing anything different.
I don't know if I could raise a child of my own knowing that you
Like if I died
passed.
during childbirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just that would be so like
be hard.
I don't know how I would manage or cope with that because obviously the one part like you have to take care of this
Yeah.
child still, but like also like just a constant reminder like
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine what a pain.
Yeah,
Or,
like
like,
the
what- such a
simultaneous
deep-
grief of like I lost my life partner, but also the
Oh.
like deep and profound love that you would have for a child would be so jarring.
Yeah, like also talk about a fucking
Yeah, that's
mixed up
really confusing
signals.
for your
Yeah.
brain. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, what else? If you want to lead the episode some, that's like totally a good thing that we
great.
could do that you
Perfect.
could
So
manage.
what we're going to talk about today is the recent coverage around what's being called the male IUD, even though it's more about like whether or not you have a penis than it is about whether you're male, but
Okay.
or whether you're a man, but it's called Adam.
Okay.
The clinical trials for this thing are basically, you doing okay? Okay. Basically this thing is like a gel. It's a substance that gets injected into the vas deferens.
Okay.
We talked about this on a previous episode of the pod.
Yes. You got to see my vas deferens.
I did. It's pretty wild looking. Are you gonna make it?
Yes, I'm gonna make it. I'm allowed to have facial reactions, okay? I am allowed to have reactions.
All right,
I'm allowed to have
you're right.
emotions.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Don't police me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Continue.
Okay. I'm more so concerned about you not being able to make it through the episode.
No, I will make it.
If you
through
want
the
to
whole-
tap out, by the way, that's totally
I will.
okay.
I don't need to tap out. If anything, we can lower it. I swear to God, it's like, you said you didn't change it?
No, it's
I can't tell if it's that thing. No, it can't be.
It is. It is.
I think the pads, I think because I've been laughing and stuff, and
Yeah.
like, I think the pads are actually like.
They're full contact now.
Yeah, because before I could only feel it in like a little.
I didn't
It's
do
also
anything.
making my abs.
Tighten?
I did go running today too, so
yeah,
I'm a little.
your poor little abs.
Oh, fuck.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Now I feel bad. Now I want to stop.
No.
Are you okay? I'm gonna turn it down.
Where are we at with you?
I turned it down.
What is this, your pain?
I turned it down. Hold on.
What is your pain level? What is this to your teeth?
I don't know. Hold on. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. You're still in pain and I'm just like feeling nothing. All right, hold on.
I'm so hot. I'm gonna look like Usher by the end
Are
of
you gonna
this.
make it? I turned yours all the way down.
I know. God bless you.
Okay, yeah, no, I would say that's fairly accurate. A 6. Yeah. Do you want me to turn yours back up or do you want a break?
Thank you for the break.
Do you want to keep having a break or do you want me to turn it back up?
Well, what are you gonna put it at?
What it was
Don't tell
before?
me. A 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're at the same level of pain now.
Okay, cool. I can do this. Okay,
Can you make
for
it?
real? Yeah. Okay. Eye of the tiger.
Do you want to try to make it to a 10 or no?
Maybe towards the end. Maybe we'll get some conversation in, and then we'll do some.
Because I have the timer on for 30 minutes.
Okay.
To be clear, you're not really supposed to have a TENS unit on for longer than that. And I don't want to have that, especially
to be actual side
near your nether regions or my nether regions, really.
Pumpkin stuff's not working anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what we did today.
It was our experiment. Yeah, just if you need to tap out.
I don't need to. I'm just warm.
Okay, but I just don't want you to get actually
I'm not
hurt,
actually
my
hurt.
love.
I'm okay. I'm having a reaction to.
Okay.
You do this all the time.
Yeah, but I don't want you to get hurt.
I'm not gonna get hurt. You're not hurting
Okay,
me. Don't be
okay.
soft. Hang in there, okay? Why am I having to comfort you through this? I feel
laughing does make it worse.
I told you. Okay. When I get
What
seriously,
an odd sensation.
If anyone ever needed to, I'm going to give out my secrets. If you ever need to get information out of me, just give me a tattoo. I will squeal like a pig. I will.
That's really true. You have divulged some of your worst secrets.
Every time I get done, I feel like it's like after drinking. I'm like, oh my God,
You're
why did I say that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
wow,
anything.
the laughing really does make it worse. It's like it does like make better contact after you laugh.
And I think it's because your muscles are tensing.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, the neurons.
It's really
and
odd.
Stuff. Okay, so anyways, we're talking about male birth control, Adam, the injectable thing. They inject it into your vas deferens.
Yes.
So
So basically, let's level set.
Let's
the
level set.
conversation about penis haver birth control has been somewhat contentious over the years. Put your cup down. Don't be a weirdo.
I don't want to drop it by accident.
Has been somewhat contentious because in 2016 there was a study about, I think it was a form of hormonal like injectable birth control for penis havers, that after clinical trials they pulled the plug on it because the side effects were deemed like too significant.
Okay.
I have an NPR article
weren't
here.
they like so? Laughing makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Weren't they so?
So much worse.
No, weren't they like actually so not that bad?
Oh,
actually?
yes. Yeah. I have an article here from NPR, I think. Oh, I closed it. Hold on.
I'm like, get the article out, get the episode done. No. Get this baby out of me.
You doing okay?
As long as I got my breathing down, like I'm good to go.
Yeah.
The birdcage, I cannot believe I hadn't finished the birdcage yet.
It's
I have
so
seen
good.
The opening 30 minutes probably 100 times. And I was like, oh, I've seen this. I've seen the intro so many times that I actually had convinced myself I'd seen the whole movie.
Oh, that's so funny.
And the dinner scene, the dinner party.
Oh my God. Incredible.
He said, shut up, quit freaking out. Or what does he say? He's like, fuck the shrimp.
Shut up. The headline says male birth control study killed after men report side effects.
Okay, what are the side effects?
This is from 2016. But yeah, blah, blah, blah. For years, people have tried to create birth control for men. The World Health Organization commissioned what sounded like a promising trial, a 2-hormone injection designed to lower sperm count. Initial results look like it would be 96% effective in preventing pregnancy in the participants' partners. Yeah.
Isn't that better than IUDs?
No.
Are IUDs
no,
100%?
IUDs are like pretty damn close.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the stage 2 trial was stopped after an independent review panel found that the drug had too many side effects. The results were published last week in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism.
I'm laughing about that too because don't birth control side effects as they are now be like cause of
Stroke.
death,
Literally,
stroke,
death.
may just suddenly stop breathing.
Yes.
Like you will cease to exist. Your brain will turn into a pulp.
Yeah.
Yeah, like aren't they fucking awful?
Terrible. Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear what these side effects are.
So they realized that a lot of guys were dropping out because they were experiencing side effects. The most common side effect was acne, and sometimes that acne was pretty severe. Some men also developed mood swings, and in some cases, those mood swings got pretty bad. One man developed severe depression. After those results, they decided to can the study, basically. This NPR article goes on to talk about how, like, well, it's not the same because, you know, when people with uteruses, they don't say people with uteruses, but
They would never.
people with uteruses are taking birth control, they're weighing the risks or benefits of pregnancy versus birth control, and pregnancy carries its own set of risks. But for penis havers, they are perfectly healthy otherwise, and so having side effects is more detrimental to them than not being on birth control because they're not the ones who get pregnant, basically.
So again, women are so weak but so strong that they can have all these extra side effects and
Yes.
they can manage and deal with them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
men shouldn't because they don't normally have. Also, for real though, I don't know if most men need fucking any help with mood swings. Honestly,
Yeah.
too.
But the thing that's really interesting about all of this, though, and why
Yeah.
like so much of this conversation, especially around like the Atom gel, has been so contentious, is that the side effects for male birth control, like penis haver birth control, all told are pretty mild.
I was about to
And
say.
still, there's a lot of hullabaloo about like, should we do this? Is this safe to do? Is this
Why
a
would
good
there
thing
not
to
be
do?
an equal option? Like,
I don't know.
but also too, like,
I
so
truly don't know.
Help me understand real quick though. Speaking of the acne, can we talk about we used to just take Stridex, which was literal
Oh my God.
isopropyl alcohol,
Yeah.
and dry
Across our face.
and we'd be like, oh, you have to do it until there's no brown and stuff comes
Yes.
out. Like we were melting our pores.
Yeah.
Good
But
God.
also that we would do that until there was literally no oil left on our face. And then we were all shocked that we had combination or oily skin.
no, literally.
Like, no wonder we had acne like crazy.
I like, why is my skin so flaky? Like nuts.
Yes.
Right? Fucking nuts.
Truly bananas.
Genuinely, like health skincare is
I know.
a league above.
Which I think
Like,
is a blessing and a curse in some ways.
yeah, that's fair.
But that's a different conversation.
So
So what are your opinions? I guess, what are your opinions about this issue generally?
So what I want to ask is, so how long does it last? Or like, okay, so is it like so it's a shot?
Yes.
So you get a shot.
The Atom?
Yes.
So it's an injection that they basically put this gel into your vas deferens.
Okay.
That first of all creates a physical barrier.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, a vas deferens is a tube essentially.
It carries the sperm.
Yeah, so the fluid that we commonly refer to as like baby juice or, you know, spunk junk or whatever, has a variety of different fluids in there. There's like a bunch of different stuff. It's not just sperm.
Yeah.
Which also, I feel like this is important education because after you got your vasectomy, no less than 3, 4, 5 people asked you like, oh, so just nothing comes out now?
That's not how it works.
But like this is
That's simply
this is a real question that people have asked you.
Oh, I get it all the time.
Yes.
It's like you just shoot blanks. No bit. Like
Yeah, like as if there's just puffs of air coming out of
No.
there. So just let's be clear that what this substance does is prevent sperm specifically from entering
Yeah.
semen. There are other fluids inside of semen
Yeah.
that like, you know, serve the purpose of, for example, being food or nutrients or energy for sperm, like altering the pH inside of the...
Basically, the bus is coming, but there's no passengers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There's still stuff. There's just no sperm. And so the vas deferens is the tube that specifically carries sperm from
like a
the
mocktail.
testes. Yeah. The vas deferens is the tube that carries the sperm from the testes to like
The spermies.
point of exit.
Or the semen.
Yeah.
The semenese.
Yes, exactly. And so Atom is essentially like a gel that gets injected into your vas
It just
deferens. And ultimately to, I think,
So it's like a gel vasectomy instead of getting
it cut, which it is reversible because
Yeah,
they
but how
can
long does it
inject
last?
to dissolve it. I think
Oh.
semi-permanently.
Oh, so like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah. In the same, I think they probably have limits, like in the same way that an IUD does, where like you should get it dissolved and then subsequently replaced.
The Atom is having side effects?
No, this was a different
Okay,
study.
so the male birth control was like
The
a pill.
Atom injection seems to have very little side effects as far as they've been able to observe.
I say my hormones should be messed up then too, because that'd be essentially the same thing.
Yeah, no, there's very little side effects.
I got a traditional vasectomy because Mickey said I wasn't allowed to get a laparoscopic vasectomy because
I did not say you weren't allowed to.
You literally said I've had to have how many different forms of birth control so you can get the regular shit, bitch. That's what you said, and you did it like this too. No, you were standing above me, and I was sitting there sobbing.
No, for sure.
And you were just like, "No, motherfucker, you better get that regular one."
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
No, what I said is that after having endured all the things that I endured, it felt kind of unfair that you would get the painless one, especially because the traditional one was, first of all, covered by our insurance, and second of all,
less than $150.
Yes,
it is crazy how cheap a vasectomy is.
All told, not very painful.
No. Also, the worst part was getting the numbing shot. Oh, God, that was awful. So I think we can go at this a couple different ways. I think I will obviously share my experience with my vasectomy.
Yes. Do you mind if I up the thing? I know we said we were going to do it randomly. No, I'm sorry. It makes me sad seeing you flinch.
No. Why? Okay, just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Okay.
Just do it. It's also, I got used to it. I kind of ate that, though.
Yeah. You did. Please, can we cut that up to be part of the podcast music?
Maybe. You do it. I got so many other things on my mind so you want to know about my vasectomy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about it.
Do you want to take a deep breath?
Thank you for reminding me to breathe, because I will forget.
Yeah, you'll pass out.
If I pass out, though, don't you dare order a fucking ambulance.
I would never.
Well, don't.
I would drag your unconscious body downstairs.
You just put me in the.
There's a lift.
Put me in the lift. I don't give a fuck what I look like by the time I get there. Just take my pants off, though. So, no, because then my fucking underwear. Okay, I don't want to ruin my pants, though. Don't ruin my pants. Carry me by my arms. Do not ruin my pants. I swear to God, I really like these. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to get used to this one again, too.
It's literally fine. You're fine.
The Atom thing. I am fine. It is fine. Okay. I'm just waiting for my legs to
Are you trying to like instinctively protect your testes right now?
I am. Yeah. It's danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Okay. Okay. So what I was going to say is that I had a vasectomy. Okay, so the Atom thing. So you asked me like 3 questions. Let's just talk about the vasectomy first. Are you sure you didn't ask me 3 questions?
Let's talk about your vasectomy.
Okay, so the doctor was very nice. Surprisingly, a Christian doctor. He based by all the weird religious stuff that was on
in the office.
And anyways, I was like, oh, this is gonna go awful. He's never gonna give it to me because we haven't had kids yet.
Yeah.
And you and I both went and we had our conversation with him. And he asked us if we were sure. And we said we were sure. And then we called him 3 months later, like a month before, and we're like, we're not sure. We need to push it back. And we pushed it back. And I can't remember what happened, but we decided we definitely didn't want to have kids.
Yeah.
And
kids. Okay, go off, Mariah Carey.
And so then we go back, and so the day of the vasectomy, my first tip number 1.
Eat.
No. Is it my story or is it yours? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Tip number 1, get your vasectomy when it's in the colder months. This will all make sense here very soon, but that's tip number 1. Think about when you're scheduling it. Don't schedule it during the summer.
So personal.
No, it's not.
Are you going to explain why?
Yeah, of course. Why would I not? Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to show everyone a picture of my nuts or anything. But anyways, so yeah, do it in the colder months. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, eat before you go to your appointment. Do not be like me, who doesn't normally do a great job with breakfast, and go to your appointment fucking starving like an idiot.
Yeah. That wasn't our best choice.
So we go, morning of, we go. It's very nice. Early morning, summer morning. And I think it had rained recently or something, so it was like a little humid. It was very nice. I remember the air smelled real good.
Thank you for setting the scene.
Yeah, I have to. I don't think people realize how beautiful because it's so fucking hot here, but then when the monsoon comes and it rains some, and then the morning before when there's all that humidity, the ground is wet and stuff, the smell from the creosote. Oh.
Very nice.
Life-giving. So Mickey takes me to the appointment. I drive there, of course, because I've never let Mickey drive anywhere because she's always my passenger princess.
Passenger princess.
My passenger jester. And so we go in. I go to our little operating room, which is so funny. It's just the same room we had our appointment.
Our consultation in. Yeah.
The nurse comes in. I get down to my skivvies and I get my butt ass cheeks on my little metal tray so that I don't get electrocuted. When they cauterize.
Yeah,
when they cauterize you, so your little butt gets on this
metal
it's
plate.
Like
It's like a cookie tray.
it looks like a cookie sheet. It's very cold because of course it is. Why would it not be?
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting in there.
You have like paper.
I have paper
like you do when you go to the gynecologist. There's like the little paper over your knees.
There was a little bit of a I can't remember. I was like, do you shave? Do you not shave? Like, how should I present my junk to the doctor?
Yeah, I don't think you ended up doing any manscaping.
And I was like, he's probably seen way worse than I wanted to make sure he had a good area to work
visual.
with.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so he starts the cutting, so he lets me know. He doesn't start the cutting. So first he injects the numbing shot into the vas deferens.
Gel.
That shit fucking sucked.
Hold on, really quick.
I think
The other thing about this procedure is that he provided you with a local anesthetic first. There was a little gel that he put on your skin, and then he gave you the
Thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that.
Numbing injection, and then he cut your skin.
Yeah. So he's taken very good care of me already. Like I've already gotten treated way better than you've.
I didn't do anything.
It's like sometimes it just does.
I'm sorry. We have 3 minutes left on the timer, to be clear.
Don't you fucking dare.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm just changing the
I finally
timer.
just got used to it.
Sorry.
I think we'll take a break for a minute just so we don't do any. How are you doing over there? You are having no reaction.
Well, yeah, it feels kind of nice, honestly.
You do so much better with the 10s. So anyways, and damn. Hold on, we're going to get there. I was just going
to explain what a vasectomy is.
Oh, do you want to do that?
Yeah, for people who don't know.
Oh, yeah, explain it.
Yeah, basically the way that it works, to be clear, is that there's a small incision that's made in the skin of the testes, right above where your vas deferens is. And then he takes these little forceps and pulls the vas deferens out so that you can see it. It looks like a little rubber band.
You got to watch the whole time, yes.
Yeah.
You probably have a better...
Yeah, so he pulls that out. And to my knowledge, I don't think they need to numb the actual vas deferens because I don't think you could feel that. You could just feel
definitely got... a tube definitely got...
but you could feel like the pressure of it, but not him actually touching...
Oh, no. Once he was done, no. Yeah.
But yeah, so then they pull your vas deferens out of your testes and cut it on 2 ends and then put these little clamps on it. He cauterizes it and then they put these little clamps on it and then they tuck everything back in there, give you a few stitches and you're good to go.
Yep.
Like all things in it, all
it was
considered,
like 5
it's
minutes.
pretty, yeah.
We actually got there earlier before our appointment and I think we were out.
By the time your appointment was supposed to start.
Yeah. Also funny to note, he said they don't have a mirror on the ceiling anymore so that you could watch because people were passing out. Which I said, haha, that's so funny. People passing out because as I'm getting walked out to the car, I probably could have drove home had I ate breakfast. Not that day. Anyways, I did pass out in the car after.
It was a little scary. Your eyes rolled back in your head.
I don't think I did. I just went to sleep for a second, really.
Okay, anyways. Hold on. Before we talk about the passing out in the car thing, I
passed out in the car because I didn't eat breakfast, to be clear, because my blood sugar was low. I passed out in the car because my blood sugar was low.
Okay. All I'm saying is you've passed out before.
When have I passed?
Getting blood work done because you don't like the sight of blood.
Because my blood sugar was low.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Every time, probably like most of the time I get my blood drawn, I pass out.
You've also made a habit of eating glucose tablets when you get tattoos because you start to get a little woozy.
They're tattoo tablets. They're not glucose tablets. They're tattoo tablets. Those are different. I finished most of my sleeve without tattoo tablets.
Okay. I'm just saying that maybe it's not about the food.
It is about the food.
It's okay for you to be a little squeamish. Lots of people are squeamish.
Fine.
You're definitely better about it now.
I do pass out a lot sometimes from stuff that involves blood.
Yeah, you're a little squeamish, and that's okay.
I'm a little squeamish. I could never be a doctor.
No. But so the rest of the procedure, the actual like cutting and cauterizing and clamping, did you have any thoughts or memories about that?
I mean, it happened so fast. I mean, I really just remember sitting there. It was kind of funny. I mean, we were joking and laughing the whole time. You guys were talking about some mundane bullshit or something.
Just chit-chatting.
Yeah, the doctor was talking to Mickey the whole time.
Yeah.
And like showing...
Yeah, I was like
everything like
looking at what was going on over there. It's pretty cool.
I'm actually really glad you got to come and watch, honestly.
It was neat.
And then recovered. So tip number 3 now at this point, when they say you have to wear compression shorts, you have to wear compression shorts because the vas deferens are kind of what help hold up your nuts, essentially. They're like, so the way I picture it is like, when people macrame plant hangers?
Macrame.
Or what are the things?
Macrame,
Yeah,
yes.
macrame. The plant hangers, it's kind of like that. But imagine your plant hanger, like they stretched it out really long. So it's hanging down a lot lower than it normally would. So you got to have those compression shorts. Now this comes back to tip number 1 where I said do it in the colder months, because obviously when things are colder, they like to be more compressed. When it's in the hotter months, they're obviously not as compressed, and so there's more tension being pulled down.
Talking about your ball sack.
It's really not that weird, though. This is nothing bad, and I think this is really important, especially too, because I know a majority of our audience is like femme-based,
not penis havers.
Penis havers. I never know what to say anymore because I feel like we change it every time. But anyways,
well, just
so
you can be a femme presenting person but not have.
But like you can take this information
uterus.
and like share it with people, or like if anyone's ever. I've actually been quite the salesman for.
Yeah, also, you really have.
Can we also talk about too? Oh, but anyways, so yeah, the compression shorts super important. Also, if you're gonna have a friend or anyone go get them one of those little hats. The little you can put the ice in, the little stereotypical one, because you can like form it perfectly to cup your little nuts just the way you want.
He's talking about an ice pack.
Yeah, the ice pack.
That looks like the old timey ones that are like a little fabric bag.
But also,
we
use that bitch all the time.
I know, but it made it sound like you were saying that you needed ice for your head.
You are gonna want ice for your head to keep it, because you're gonna be hot.
You don't need ice for your head. You need ice for your incisions.
Like 20 on, 20 off, whatever it was. And then can we also talk about? I didn't use any pain meds, just Tylenol. But can we also talk about a week later? I get a call from the pharmacist, and they're like, "Hey, you have stuff ready to pick up," and I'm like, I don't have anything.
They gave you opioids.
Yeah, they gave me opioids for that.
Like a bunch.
I got almost harder drugs for that than you did for your fucking
To be
breast
fair,
reduction.
I did get the good for my breast reduction, but
like I got a lot of stuff, and I was like, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think the thing about your vasectomy, because we talked about this on a previous episode too. Obviously, like it's not about you, but just that like was interesting and like a little frustrating to me was the great care and concern that everybody took.
They were very kind to me the whole time.
To make sure that you were as comfortable as humanly possible.
The nurses helped walk me to the car.
They deeply apologized to you that you had to sit on this metal plate that was cold, and we're so sorry, and we know it's uncomfortable and all this stuff. And then like when I went and got my IUD, it was just like, sit down. Like there was no
They said, any questions? No, it doesn't matter because you don't get to ask them.
Literally, no kindness, no compassion, no nothing. At all. Yeah, they just shoved that thing in there. And like, it was just so traumatizing, and I was so unprepared.
The difference.
Yeah. It is a really stark difference.
Yeah, but I think it's really just like, especially for how cheap it is. Now, granted, if you ever want it reversed, make sure you know, because that shit's like $25,000.
To reverse it, yeah.
Insurance will not cover it because it's an elective procedure,
and it's also not very successful the longer you do it. So if you like, especially the like everybody should get vasectomies and then you can reverse them later thing. Like, no, you can't.
No,
it's not very successful. It's very expensive.
But like with this shot though, like if you just gotta get that shot one time, and it's just good for do we know how long it lasts?
I don't. I can look.
But I mean, like that's a great alternative too, especially like I just think how many people and how many relationships are there, or the lack of relationship are there with parents who, like, for all intents and purposes, like a one night stand or whatever, or someone didn't use protection, or like a condom didn't work, or a contraceptive didn't work, and also too because it's so much more difficult to get a hold of emergency contraception now. Like Plan B is so much more difficult to access, and it's more expensive than it ever has been too. I think because I got my vasectomy right after Roe v. Wade got unpassed, because I was like, okay, we're ready to go. Like I think that same week we called and we're like, okay, you were like, never mind. That seals the deal was like for me. Pretty much the catalyst, I think, for a lot of that thought process, because we were in a place where we were very unsure previously if we wanted to have kids at all. And then when we talked more about it, we were like, I just really don't think that this is like for us. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I think the fear that I had was about making a permanent decision. And like, what if I change my mind in 10 years? But also, let's be real at that point. Like, well, and then the thing that we ultimately, like the reason we made the choice that we did is because after Roe v. Wade fell, we were like, first of all, it's like more unsafe than ever for me to get pregnant, even if we did want kids, because like, God forbid we have pregnancy complications, an ectopic pregnancy, a miscarriage, like any number of things that could be like legislated against my body, and that I could be like criminally charged for, even though it wouldn't have been my fault anyways. Literally, right? Yes. Not including the like, needing to abort a pregnancy for like medical reasons or for life-saving reasons or whatever, that like we just wouldn't have access to that service then. But also that
we were like, okay, if we decide that we're not sure and so we're going to wait and we're not going to take any like step towards this, what happens if like 15 years from now we realize we were sure the whole time and we don't have kids and we wasted all of this time that we could have just had like made that decision and like put it behind us and be done with it, you know?
I know, because now too, I'm like, of course, hindsight 2020, but like, if we had known now, we would have got it done forever. They never would have let us do it. I feel like
probably
not. Because the thing too, though, like even if you wanted to get any form of actual
like permanent sterilization,
it's like you aren't even allowed to.
No.
Like, what is that? Like, you don't even have your own. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I've heard the thing about like people suing doctors who've performed like hysterectomies and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but like
that has to be exceedingly rare.
I can't tell if it's that thing too where people are like, oh, this happened one time to one person and now like no one will do it.
Yeah.
Or is like that just a bullshit excuse, like the BMI thing?
No, exactly.
Like, is that just a bullshit excuse they say so they just don't have to do it?
Which, and, like let's be honest, it is.
Can continue not to give femme presenting people healthcare.
Also, how do you feel about me?
Yeah, we're ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it to it. It's just...
How is that?
It's good. It's good.
Do you feel anything?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay. Ooh, that one hurts. Yeah, that one hurts a little now.
Ooh, I'm doing better, but my abs are going to be solid.
Ow. I want you to know the initial, that right there, the like sharpness of it is not what period cramps feel like. It's like a deeper interior soreness that is so hard to explain.
I can't even imagine.
Because this is like your external muscles, but the muscles that are actually contracting are like deep inside of you. And so it feels like it's like that thing, you know, when like the inside of your mouth itches, but it's not your mouth and you wish you could like claw your way through your fucking skins to itch the inside of your, you know what I'm saying? It's like that, but with pain inside of your uterus. It's like there's nothing I can do to actually reach this pain. So like hot water bottles or heat pads or whatever, like doesn't really help.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it makes perfect sense. Because when I want to help you and offer like superficial stuff.
And like, it's not going to do anything.
It's not going to do the same.
No.
Why are you not having more of a reaction to this?
I don't know.
Are our settings the same?
Yes. Look.
I don't want to look. I don't want to know.
They're the same. You're doing great.
So
you're doing
realistically
amazing, sweetie. But yeah, so ultimately that was when I reframed it from that perspective, I was like, no, I don't want to spend the next 5 to 10 years of our life being on hold, being like, will I, won't I, want kids.
Can we just talk about for a second too, all those videos where dudes are trying it, they just get like a zap real quick?
Yeah.
Do they actually sit there with it?
I don't know.
Because this is way worse. You just got to sit with it. Like,
yeah.
It's just in there.
Yeah. I know. And I didn't even put any on like the underside near your butthole, because anybody who's ever had a period knows full well that sometimes you get butthole zaps that are like now, such a humbling experience.
Men would cease to exist if they had to do this. Some men would cease to exist if they had to do this all the
regular.
I know people who bow out of things for so much less.
Yeah.
It's so funny because it's always the guys that are like the toughest and like the most macho.
Yes,
and
the ones who protest too much.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think especially because like this level of pain is like pretty standard as far as period cramps are concerned. Yeah. Remembering that period of time, because I've had an IUD before. We talked about it on.
I can't believe you did that for a year though. You used to like cry like the pain. I can't imagine what that pain felt like. You should describe it as like you could feel it inside it. Like
because I got an IUD placed. Because before that I started taking the pill when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it did terrible things to my body. Can we just talk about too
how culturally accepted that is? That like, you're 16,
child.
You're 16 now, you get on the pill and like your hormones, when they're already like out of
terrible acne. And I was so like overwhelmed emotionally.
Oh, and then there's just no help for it. Like you are like no access to like therapy or like any any like encouraging.
It was terrible. Yeah. So crazy. I started with the pill, and then also because I can never remember anything, I would forget to take it all the time.
Of course.
And I would panic.
That was our life cycle. We lived and died by the month.
I bought so many pregnancy tests when we were in high school. because I would
Good for
forget
us
to
because
take.
we made it.
I
but-
would forget to take my birth control pill and then be like, fuck.
Can we share that story? How we got shamed for buying condoms? This is the craziest thing looking back on it. I had someone trade me fucking condoms for cold medicine.
Really?
And I was like, you can just buy the cold medicine.
Yeah. What?
Buying condoms is way more, at the time, was embarrassing.
Who traded you condoms for cold medicine?
I will not be naming names. It was on the bus.
Can you tell me and then just cut it out?
No, I will not.
Was it somebody that I know?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. But yeah, so then I started taking Depo-Provera birth control shots because you would have to go once every 3 months.
Which is obviously better than a pill.
Yes, except that because I had such inconsistent access to transportation in the latter part of high school and in my early years of college, it was very difficult for me to get to a doctor's office. So I would miss my shots regularly. And then we would be like, just kidding, we're celibate because I can't have birth control. And also I have a latex allergy. That's important context.
Honestly, though, the lambskin condoms are
they're
okay.
They're colloquially referred to as lambskin condoms. They're not actually made of lambskin, to be clear.
Okay, to be clear though, whatever
The
they're made out
non-latex
of, they
ones.
smell way better.
Yeah,
than the
latex condoms
ones.
stink.
Stinky.
So gross. Also, don't use non-latex condoms if you're trying to prevent STDs or STIs, because they don't accurately protect you in all circumstances. Like, double check the labeling. Some of them do, some of them don't.
Really?
Yes.
That's great information to know. I didn't know
They're
that.
slightly more permeable than latex, I think, which is why latex condoms are like the gold standard as far as keeping yourself safe from sexually transmitted infections.
That's why it's so important to just destigmatize talking about this stuff, because I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
We were like...
Yeah, children. And at the time, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
it's better than...
We had never had sex with anybody except for each other at the time, so we weren't going to invent an STD between the two of us. But
yeah.
But so yeah, and then I started taking that. That also fucked with my hormones and fucked with my body, and it was terrible. And I had a terrible time affording it and getting to the doctor's office and the whole thing. And so a couple of years into our marriage, I decided, like, fuck this. We'll just get an IUD. And at the time, I think, because I wanted the one that would last for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, great, I'll get an IUD,
The idea
like,
was that
set
by the
it
time
and
that's
forget
done,
it.
By the time that's done,
We'll be ready to have kids. Are you okay?
Like, sometimes it's fine, and it's like when I start getting used to it, and
Now
it's like,
I feel bad.
don't feel bad. I'm in this with you. I want to do this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have a reaction to it.
Okay.
And also, too, I think it's the thing where it's like starting. I can like feel it. Like,
Do you want me to turn it up?
well, what do you mean turn it up? I don't know what to say.
If you don't want me to, that's fine. So I got an IUD placed.
Actually, yeah, you should turn it up right now because you're telling the story, and then.
Hey! Don't break my furniture. Does it hurt that bad? That feels the same.
No,
Fuck.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry.
Mickey, no, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Don't call me Mickey. You only call me that when you're mad at me. Are you mad at me?
I'm gonna pop this.
Don't just
you
got
can't have
it.
it.
They're on back order. You gotta breathe. You gotta deep
Plug it
breathe.
in my stomach.
Breathe through your lungs.
Where else would This smells
You want to do
way
some deep
different.
breathing? Do you want me to hold your hand?
No.
Do some deep breathing together. Are you ready?
Okay, so now I know when you watch the video of the otters, I know why you would cry now.
You have to breathe.
I'm not giving birth. It's in my stomach. No, it's in my stomach.
Yeah, but you have to breathe or you'll pass out. Don't pass out, Bunky.
I'm not gonna pass out.
Deep breathes.
What is that, a 9?
Deep breathes. No. That's like a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't know if I can do much more.
Okay, that's fine. You don't
I'm
have to.
sweating.
I kind of want to see how high I can get mine to go before I feel pain.
Okay, can I turn my... Okay,
wanna turn yours down?
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Is that better?
Oh my God.
That's at a 5 now. Hold on. I want to see how high I can get mine before I'm like in pain. Watch me like fuck up my uterus by doing this. Okay, ow, that kind of hurts. That's a 9. What? Yeah, that's not very good. Yeah, that hurts. A 10 kind of hurts.
Kind of hurts.
Ow. I don't like that. Ooh, yeah. Ouchie.
I hate you.
Okay.
You're a fucking trooper. I have so much. I already had plenty of, and all the respect.
Okay, I'm
but-
turning yours down some more.
Okay, I think
You
I'm.
made it. Yeah.
Should I try 10 or like?
I don't think you'll It hurt me. Do you want me to just turn it up to 10 and then I'll turn it down? Do you want that? You don't have to do that. I think if you don't want, like, it's okay.
Did the point get proven?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to turn yours down so that we can turn it off then.
I'm sweating. I am sweating.
Are you sweating?
I feel
You
like
did it, punk.
I ran my two little miles this morning real quick.
You did it.
And I feel like this was harder than that.
Are you okay?
Did I do better or worse? Or
I think you did pretty good, Pumpkin. I'm proud of you.
Tell me I'm good.
You did a great job.
The thing about like men getting tattoos versus women getting tattoos.
Very true.
Is that, sorry, not the non-binary. I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean, like the pain
non-binary.
tolerance or the binary.
Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. We get
yeah, is that like, is that like actually a real thing, or is that just like a meme that they talk about on TikTok where like,
oh, no, that's real.
where dudes getting tattooed and they're like screaming and like,
thrashing around.
I could never, my
social anxiety.
Yeah, not my self-esteem. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, back to our IUD story.
This feels cold and it's so nice. Okay.
In the early years of our marriage,
yeah.
I think we'd been married for probably 3-4 years maybe. I decided to get an IUD placed, and at the time we had insurance through your job, which was not very good insurance,
not the best,
and the doctor's office that I went to was like not really the best anyways.
No. Oh my god, they treated you like shit.
Yeah, but they basically told me, make sure that you take an ibuprofen beforehand, show up, we'll do the thing, and it's totally fine. And I get there, and like, first of all, they were not very nice to me. But second of all,
I know, why are they always so mean?
They sprung it on me at the last second that like you can't get the IUD that lasts for 10 years, the copper one.
Yeah.
Because I also wanted a non-hormonal one because
of course
I had been on hormonal birth control for like years.
Your whole damn life, basically.
Yeah. And they were like, you can't have that. So you can have this one that's smaller because you've never given birth before, and that's hormonal. And I was like, okay, I guess like if that's the only option that I have.
Back and said no, yeah, but also at that point you were ready for anything.
Yeah, so
I didn't get to go with you either.
No, they placed that IUD, and it was the most painful experience of my entire life. I was like clutching I can't imagine the bed that I was like reclined on.
Yeah,
and yeah, they do the thing where they're like just a little pinch, and then it's like they punch you in your uterus.
Also, was the doctor that did it for you, dude or a chick? Do you remember? Or
the doctor was a woman, actually, the person who placed it.
That's also crazier because you think, but it's the thing too, where like medical care, people don't turn into.
Yes. Well, and also I didn't know this until years later. Yeah. Actually, TikTok is who informed me that there is an instrument that they use in implanting IUDs or inserting IUDs. That's essentially pliers, but they're like needles on the end. And so what they do is grab your cervix and yank it with these like scary knitting needle things, and then jam this dilator in your cervix, because your cervix looks like a little donut most of the time, and it's closed to prevent, things from getting in your womb. And like, for example, during your period, this is why people get period cramps, is because your cervix is dilating ever so slightly to make an opening so that your endometrium lining can be expunged from your body. That's what all the blood and the tissue and all of that stuff is. And that's why period cramps feels like the very early stages of labor, because that's basically what's happening. But so obviously they can't really do that if your cervix is closed. So they just grab onto it with these fucking pliers and then jam this dilator in there. It's not okay. So that they can jam a tube in there. But I didn't know any of that was happening. I thought this was just like a simple, like a little string type of thing, and it was gonna like feel maybe a little bit bad. But like come to find out that they were like puncturing my cervix and yanking it out of the way, basically.
And the real shit of it all too, wasn't it? Didn't they put it in there improperly when you found out when you got it removed? Or what something happened?
So after I had it placed, I was in pain like everybody else is, because obviously there's cramping and maybe a little bleeding, and it's just like uncomfortable. But then like weeks went by,
it just like never
and I was
went
still
away.
in pain, and months went by, and I was still in pain, and I was like, this can't fucking be right. So I called the doctor's office, and they were like, yeah, cramping and intermittent pain is a side effect of getting an IUD. Sorry.
Like for forever?
No further investigation. No, like, oh, sorry, like, if you want to come in, we can do imaging, whatever. I had to call and get second opinions from multiple offices before I finally got imaging done. And they're like, looks fine. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still in pain. Like, what do I do? And they were like,
take an ibuprofen.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't live like this. Cause I talked about this earlier, but like I would be in session with clients and it was like all of a sudden out of nowhere, like I would rotate or move somehow. And it's like I could feel something in there moving around. And it was this sharp shooting, searing pain.
That's not how it's supposed to be, correct? Like
No.
eventually the pain's supposed to subside.
No. Like cramping and like a little soreness is normal after you get an IUD inserted, but you're not supposed to be in searing pain for the rest of your life.
When we had sex, did you used to be in pain during that? No, you didn't feel
really.
like that during?
Yeah.
God, that's almost worse too then. Like,
yeah. And I don't know what the issue was because I had multiple images, or imaging taken. And ultimately it amounted to like, I don't know, maybe you're sensitive. And then, so I changed gynecologists and we had changed insurance, I think 2 or 3 times during this time. And so I eventually got seen by a new gynecologist who was actually nice to me. And she was like, listen, I just don't think this is worth it for you. She was like, if you want me to just take it out, we can. And so I was like, okay. And thankfully for me, the removal process didn't really hurt very much.
Yeah.
But I know for a lot of people, the removal is really, really painful. But she basically was like, okay, like, you basically like, you're going to get, a pelvic exam.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, on 3, I need you to give me a big cough. And I was like, okay. And so she counted to 3 and I coughed and she just pulled it out of there.
I think too, I think just like, no, like also too, I think that's like the great thing about us having been together as kids. Cause you basically have tried every single form of birth control other than the little thing you get in your arm.
Nexplanon, or the patch.
Yeah. But I think otherwise like you
those.
had tried every single avenue that you could.
Yeah.
And like every single one of them had some
side effect
that was just like
that was like
near
a deal
debilitating.
breaker. Yeah, for me.
Yeah. And I think that's why the vasectomy for me too was like such a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like I got to go through this thing one time and then like we're good.
Then we're done.
Because also like we had just decided too that like all of this is not worth it. Like we'll just use condoms. Like I never understand. Like for real, if anyone ever tells you like, oh, I don't do condoms or like I don't ever like, shut the fuck up.
Truly fuck off.
And then also too like those are the people too who like definitely aren't fucking prepared to have kids because like you don't do condoms but you'll raise a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like no the fuck you won't.
No, you will not. You are not equipped. You're too immature to take care of your health and your partner's sexual health. You're definitely not mature enough to care for a child.
Like for real, like so fucking for real right now. Like they're not that fucking bad. Like shut the fuck up. That's like such baby bitch shit. Like unless you're having an adverse reaction.
Yes.
Unless you're like does it lose? Is it as good? No, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking lie to you and say like.
Of course, it doesn't feel as good.
No shit, it doesn't feel as good.
There's a physical barrier in the way, obviously. Of course,
but also like if that's so important to you, then like be ready to nut up and fucking like take your consequence. Like have kids. You're like don't be fucking.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But
to put the burden of that on your partner is so unfair.
It is so unfair too, because then it puts someone in such an awkward and uncomfortable position too, because then essentially you're putting someone in the position where they either have to say no.
Yes.
To protect their own safety and their health.
Yeah.
Or like be the cool person and say yes.
Who struggles and deals with the side effects and stuff.
Especially if it's like a heat of them. Like it's just an unfair position to put like the receiver in.
There really is like such an inequity.
I just don't like it's just not worth it. Like it's not that bad. Like it doesn't make that much. It's not like it's like basically not having had sex at all.
No, yes, exactly. It's really not that big of a deal. Okay, wait, I have a question.
Okay, I have an answer.
Do you think if we like at the time, if the like Adam IUD thing had been an option, do you think you would have wanted that instead of a vasectomy, or would you have said like fuck it, I'm getting a vasectomy anyways?
I'm gonna be honest. I think for most, I don't really know. Like I like toddlers and stuff. I don't do babies.
We're the opposite.
It's never. I like the idea of having like a young adolescent, like someone to help.
Like a little human.
Yeah, like someone to help, and like to learn with and like share music with and like talk with and like learn. Yeah, and like discover things and like learn their interests and like see what they're good at and like. Not in the sense of molding, because I don't believe in like that feels gross and weird to me. Yeah. But in the sense that like cultivating like someone's inner self and like self-esteem.
In the way that you would tend a garden, right? Like the plant's gonna do what it's gonna do, but I'll give you water and
fertilizer and like watch you. Like I do mourn the loss of getting to know like what the combination of you and me would look like. Like that is.
I think that too.
But I don't.
We've had pretty cool kids.
We'd had very cool kids. But that's also the other thing we talk about too, though, is like if you had to go through all of this stuff through pregnancy and stuff, and like God forbid they turned out to be like a Republican or like a piece of shit, or and I mean that in just like a I guess not in a mean way, but like in a real way too, like kind of just like a bad egg.
Yeah.
And like we would still love them and nurture them
course.
as much as we
Yeah.
could. But like I would be, it's like the back to like
I would
if
have
you
been
were if you were to pass during childbirth.
Yes.
Then I would be so
Yeah.
heartbroken.
Yes.
At this loss of like, but also again too, like that's not fair for me
Yes,
to
to
put that
put
on
that
this
on them.
So I think for me,
Yeah.
and this is why sometimes our therapy sessions are really rough because you asked me a regular question and I went left with it. But I like never really wanted to have kids. So I think if
Yeah.
I wanted to, I think I would have, if that was available at the time when you were having all these issues and stuff, I was like, how bad could it be? Especially knowing
Yeah.
that it could be reversed.
Yeah. Oh, like way back in the day?
Yeah, like I would have, I would
yeah.
have went back and done that, especially if there's no hormonal. I
Yeah.
don't know the hormonal stuff. Like I guess I would have to see. I would be happy to try it. I'd like to think.
That's
Younger
valid.
me, not so much. I feel like I would have been a bitch about it.
I feel like you would have too.
yeah, I think
like,
now
with
I
love.
would be open to try it. But like
Yeah, I think the gel thing, if that had been available, like back in the day, like when I was doing
No
Depo-Provera
brainer.
still,
Yeah.
definitely. But I think at the time that we were debating getting a vasectomy, I feel like we both probably would have been like, fuck it. Like if we're gonna do that, we may as well do
just
that.
do the shot. Yeah,
Especially because at the time that we decided we didn't want to have kids, the other part of that conversation was that like, listen, we are getting pretty close to 30.
yeah.
And if we haven't made a decision one way or the other by the time I turn 35, then like I'm already considered a high risk.
I was literally just about to go there with the high risk.
I would have been considered a high risk pregnancy because I'm obese. And also like we would have had further complications, I think, because I'm in chronic pain and because my joints seem to have a really loose appreciation for like their normal
Your poor
place
back.
of business.
I don't know if your back injury could.
Yes, yeah, well, and the sciatica and like all of
Yeah.
the things. We've also discovered some strange things about my spine that are back there that like maybe shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And so I think there's so many things that like pregnancy already would have been difficult
Highlight and
and challenging, but then on top of the fact of being like 35 or over and being considered a geriatric pregnancy, like that would have been like, no, like we're done. I don't want to deal with all of that. Like I had already decided when we were still on the fence about having kids that I didn't want to have like a high involvement birth. Like my
Yeah.
ideal situation would have been to have like licensed and trained medical professionals who were like trauma informed and could like, intervene on my behalf as little as possible and all that kind of stuff. And like, that's not the type of birth I would have had, So part of that conversation then was that like, if we have already gotten to the point where we're almost 35 and we still haven't made a decision, then like, effectively the decision would have been made for us.
Yeah. I just can't, also too, with how much you have to already fight for medical care. Like I feel like everything you've ever had to get done was like tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Like you had to go in there like guns blazing, like not ready to take it. You're not taking no for an answer.
No.
And I just can't imagine how that would have been. Like,
It'd have been
would
terrible.
pregnancy have been the thing that like, oh, finally you are allowed to
No.
receive care because at
No.
least you're pregnant, you're doing the thing you're supposed to do.
Especially because people are gaslit and invalidated and written off in pregnancy probably more often than they are any other time, especially like gender nonconforming people, like people with compounding marginalized identities for sure, like the experience of birthing is just really not one that's like centered on you. There's
Well,
a
and
lot
I
of
think,
fixation with like everybody else and like, the baby, like rightfully so in some ways, but like, especially like your safety and comfort is like a last priority for a lot of doctors, which is so fucked up.
And I already know this about me too. And like, of course I would like be, I'm always ready to have your back and like, I'm pretty cool, like, and chill about most things and like ready to support you, but like let you do it on your own or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would be feral if a doctor was, and not in a good way either. Like I would Karen, like if I knew it was anything that would even be affecting the health of
I love you for that.
Oh, well, yeah, but I would not, I don't fucking think so.
Yeah.
Like I will use every ounce of privilege in this little white body to fucking make sure our child, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, and also this is toxic of me, but like what a turn on that
Yeah.
is. The idea
Well,
that you would
great.
fist fight a doctor for me if they were being
Well, and that's the
mean
thing
to
too
me.
about us. If we did have a child that was problematic, is like
Oh,
if the police
God.
showed up at the house.
I
And
know.
they're like, oh, he just lit this house on fire. I'm like, no, he fucking didn't.
I'd be like,
Or,
did they deserve it?
They didn't. I don't know what they. I'm like, no, they fucking didn't. I'm like, don't misgender my child, bitch. Proof.
Yeah,
Where are
literally.
your sources? But yeah, I would let
No,
they would get away with
absolutely.
murder. Look how we are with the dogs.
Oh, I know. We're so selfish.
We're soft.
We're soft.
We're fucking soft.
Yeah. This conversation took a turn. How do you feel about our experiment?
God, after the end of a period, I would just I need a beach. I need a beach vacation. I need a marg. I need some tortilla.
Wait, can I have a beach vacation?
Oh,
after
yeah,
this?
absolutely. Hopefully here soon.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
yeah, like I would need a sweet treat at the end of that. Every day I would need a lot of
Yes.
help.
This is why I
Exhausting.
cry every time we watch cute animal videos.
God, tired.
Yeah.
I'm not
it's
even losing any
tiring.
blood.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And just like
Yeah.
that could happen to you at any while you're driving, I would be in a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
We would have to buy several cars.
That's so dangerous.
I know it's not like that. Like
Yeah, no,
the
obviously
jerkiness,
it's like
but
more
I did
subtle
get
than that.
used to it as the level that last one, that 7 we were on. I know I kind of wanted
Yeah.
to wish I would have made it all the way.
It's
but also
okay.
I'm really okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
But like that one was like it was starting to like come into the middle of my stomach.
Yeah.
And that was the part because I was like convulsing almost.
Yeah, where you're like hunching. It's terrible.
But I just can't imagine that coming from out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever build up or like sometimes it's just like a flash?
Sometimes it is a flash, but a lot of times it's like a buildup, and it will last longer than that though. Like sometimes in order to get to this like crest of the wave.
Yeah, like how do you know when
it will take like 5 minutes probably. So
is
you'll
there
just be
anything
in
you can do?
No. I mean, like you can take Midol or Tylenol.
Yeah, but I mean like
You can. Some people use like hot water bottles or like heating pads or whatever. Those don't really help me.
Like there's no like
personally.
at 5 minutes it will start coming down. Yeah.
No, I
see.
mean like it does eventually end, but I mean ultimately you just kind of like wait it out, and then it will once it starts to subside, then that's kind of like the moment of relief where you're like, God dang.
If you're ever on your period
Thank
and you just
you.
need to stand still and take a breather or whatever, you just fucking say the word now. I will never.
Sometimes. Oh, you know what
I'm
does
glad you're
help a little
I'm
bit
glad you're passing
actually.
your princess now.
Me too. You know what does help a little bit?
Tell me.
Is crouching. And I think this is
I could see
this
that.
is a childbirth thing I do. A lot of people talk about how they're like drawn to that like crouching position during childbirth, and I do think it's because it takes some of the pressure off of those muscles. I don't know what it is, but that like deep squat where you're like
yeah.
you like
I do that
ass to grass.
I have to do that every day.
Yeah, that seems to relieve some of the pressure for me for some reason.
I feel like this has been an eye opening. I am tired. I am ready for a little snack. I'm ready
too,
for a
I'm
little
hungry.
treat, a little reward.
Yeah.
But seriously, thank you. I know you didn't ask for this, but thank you for. Thank you for
You're welcome.
Yeah, because that's awful.
It is something.
Fuck. Shout out to everyone, honestly.
Yeah, shout out to my fellow uterus havers and my fellow period havers
Yeah.
because it blows.
That's fucking rough. And that's not even probably I said a quarter of childbirth earlier, but that's probably
Yeah.
like a fucking,
Yeah,
I don't know what
1/100th.
fraction you want me to use, but it's not close at all.
Not close at all.
And I would never want to diminish the pain you go through because goddamn,
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
that fucking sucks.
Pretty terrible.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Do we have any recommendations for this episode?
Oh man.
We've been watching a lot of good movies lately, so I was thinking about
we
that.
finally got to watch Ponyo. Oh.
It's so good.
I don't care. I cried.
We both cried
I don't
at the
care.
end. It's
I don't
so
care.
good.
I just love. There's like no conflict, but there is, but there isn't.
Also, little
Also, what a
Sosuke's
star-studded
so
cast.
cute.
Oh, my
Oh,
God,
I know.
With her little duck feet.
Well, I know, and then he's like, "I would love you anyway, Ponyo."
It's the worm. Ponyo is the worm.
Yes!
The worm theory.
Ponyo is literally like the.
Would you love me if I was a fish?
Yes.
Yeah, I
And
would
he
carry you
says,
around in a
"Of course I
pail."
would." It's so cute.
What's the little kid's name? I love
Sasuke.
I love Sasuke.
I know. So cute.
I will say though, so far, Kiki's not Delivery Service. What was the other one we watched? We haven't watched Hal's yet.
Nausicaa.
Not Nausicaa. The soundtrack from
Totoro.
the soundtrack
Neighbor
from Totoro
Totoro,
still is
so
number one.
good.
Number one.
So
the main
good.
theme, the main melody. Dun, 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 dun,
I know.
Oh, I could
It's so cute.
that if you ever want to know what's in my head, like it's probably that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Highly recommend.
I love
both of those.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you guys need a
What a
pick me up
journey.
or a feel good,
The Ghibli movies.
all of the Ghibli, well, most of the Ghibli movies I think are available on HBO Max, which I think you can get a free trial of too. So if you just want a
Yeah.
nice little pick me up, you can do a free trial, watch a cute little movie, and then
Yeah.
cancel it before you have to pay any money.
And then if you want to help support us, go join the Discord
yeah.
and come play
Yeah.
Power World with us.
Yes.
It's everything we want. Like, don't even get me started. That could be a
It's
whole nother
so
episode.
good.
But anyways,
Yeah.
come join us.
We're really excited about the Pal World server. And that's it.
Yeah, thanks
If
for
you guys-
hanging out with us.
Yeah, if you guys like the video, you can like the video and subscribe and leave reviews and all
Share
those
your
things.
worst period stories.
Yes. Please tell me
yeah.
about your menstrual
Enlighten me.
cycles because this is a safe space for us to complain
Oh
openly
my
about
God.
our bodily
Complain
functions.
all day. Complain all day.
And that's it. We'll see you guys for the next episode. Thanks for coming, and we love you the most.
Bye.